Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Oh, my goodness. I always forget to do that. Yep. We are professional here. That's right. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Happy National Pizza Day. I'll be interactive with you in the live chat. If you want to talk to me about what we're talking about tonight, if you did partake in the national holiday, that is National Pizza Day, by all means, let me know in the chat if you had a slice today, if you had a pie today, where you had it from, or whatever. Talk to me. I had some Papa Murphy's for dinner tonight. In fact, right now, I was going to show off to this is empty. Did you eat my slice? Yeah, I went to go get ready, get my water, and get my notes ready and everything. And I walk away for 10 minutes, and I come back and we'll talk later. Ate my slice. Unreal. Can you believe that? On National Pizza Day. No, I didn't share with you. Didn't have to. You stole my slice. Unreal. Well, hopefully you folks watching here did not have your slice of pizza stolen away from you. If you had some, share with me in the chat what you had today, if you had any. So, nonetheless, let's talk about this. This was a fun little event. This was Impact Wrestling's first live thing on Twitch, as far as like their house show. I guess you'd call it a house show. They're working with different independent companies, and getting their name out there and sharing the stage and stuff. And it's great to see Impact Wrestling doing this. They did it with AAA starting last year, and also Noah in Japan, and they're expanding their borders. They're working with different people, and they're getting their guys out there, and it's just good for pro wrestling. It is. No matter how you look at it, these are fun shows. We saw how many I saw over half of these guys on the show tonight were new faces that I'd never seen before. Each match had someone that I recognized in it, someone from Impact Wrestling. But the rest were I guess you could say, local guys. I'm not sure where Wrestle Pro is. If you do know something about Wrestle Pro and you know where it's from, I don't know a lot about that company, that wrestling company. If you know where they're from, put it in the chat. Talk to me. But this was a lot of fun. Like a lot of new face. I'm always interested in seeing new, fresh faces out there for wrestling and seeing new talent. And we saw a lot of that tonight. In fact, some of it, I would not be surprised if somewhere down the road we saw some more of these faces on a regular basis in the Impact Zone. Some of these guys were really good. They weren't just, if they walked into the, WWE and one of these guys had a match with Elias Sampson or John Cena or whatever, they'd be called jobbers. But some of these guys, like Josh Matthews said, they're 10, 20 plus year veterans of this company and or in this area. So, these guys they're hard workers. Some of them veterans, some of them, just have been working for a few years, but they all put in such hard work tonight to put on a good show. Nice live crowd too. That's always nice to see at shows like this. And so yeah, let's talk a little bit about this. Started out with 3-on-3. Some like I said, a lot of faces I don't know. I can't say much about them, but a few of the faces I do recognize. But it was a fun match nonetheless. Started out with a group called Reality Check. Looks like it's run by KM. KM, of course, with Impact Wrestling, who they said has been a thorn in the side of Wrestle Pro for quite a while, apparently. He brought out 2 other guys. One of them I didn't catch the name of. They didn't talk about one of them a lot. But one of them's name was Steeler. They went up against a group. I didn't catch the name of the group, but it was Delroy and Habib. Habib, wow, what a little firecracker he was, eh? Whole up in 150 pounds soaking wet, I think they said. But it was fun, like I said, everyone worked hard. And the Wrestle Pro Gold Champ. Now, I don't know, different terms for different companies have different names for their belts. The Gold Champ, I don't know if that's like the top guy in the company. There was also a Silver Champ. That was the guy in the main event, Dan Moff. We'll get to him a little bit later. So I don't know who's like higher than who or who's, whatever. But hey, it's all new to me. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just fun. The guy leading this group out the pack that said straight out of the psych ward was Christopher Avery Kuling. I probably screw that up, and I apologize. But they called him CAQ, and they came out with the win over KM's Reality Check group. And at the end, KM beats down the Gold Champ, demands a match with him. He wants a chance at that Gold Championship, which apparently he's been. This CAQ has been 2 years. 2-year-long Gold Champ, from what it sounds like. That's impressive. It doesn't matter if it's an indie or whatever. That's 2 years as a champ. You're one of the top guys. That says something. Certainly an interesting character, with wearing that white jumpsuit with some of the spray paint stuff on it, kind of like Slipknot, only different. I don't know. So then CAQ, we'll just call him CAQ because I don't want to screw up the name. He accepted the challenge, and he's told KM that he wants a cage match. So I don't know if that's something we're going to see on another Impact show down the road, or if they're going to keep that in Wrestle Pro. But nonetheless, that's kind of interesting. Usually a cage match, no matter where it is, can be pretty entertaining. So we'll see. What else here? Then we get something, I don't know what was going on here, but this was really funny. And apparently, I just was just quick going over a little bit of stuff on Twitter. Some MMA news pages are picking this up too. So I don't know if this was like a mockery thing or what exactly was going on here. Pardon my senility when it comes to UFC stuff. I'm not a UFC guy. I know a few of the names. I watch a couple of events here and there, and I don't know who, they were talking about Dana White walking around and back, and that was obviously a joke. But, Kobe Cummington wrestled a 13-second match against Tyquill Woodley, who apparently was the UFC welterweight champ. Took him down in 13 seconds, which Kobe Cummington from America Top Team that we've seen on Impact is now the welterweight champion. I don't know. Is this a thing? I mean, it looked hilarious because he literally did like a half-ass kick, and this Tyquill, is that his name? Tyquill? That's NyQuil's cousin, right? Just fell down, went to sleep. Yeah, must be. He lost his championship. One kick. Kobe Cummington. Wow, what a badass. I don't know. So not too much to say about this. It was funny nonetheless. So whatever. We'll see where this goes. Next we have Chris Payne out with I didn't catch the name of the manager. Versus Matt Sydal. And as Matt Sydal is being introduced, coming down the ramp, he is beat down by the Heavenly Bodies. That team does sound familiar. Like, I don't know if they were in the old Global Force Wrestling before they joined with Impact. I think they sound familiar. And then all of a sudden, Chris Payne wasn't digging this, and he called out the Heavenly Bodies for bum rushing Matt Sydal and making short work of him. So they turned it into a tag match. It became Chris Payne and Matt Sydal versus the Heavenly Bodies. Those Heavenly Bodies, wow, they not so heavenly the bodies. I mean, they really tried to talk them up, but they really, I don't know. I could probably win a contest, maybe. No, you're supposed to back me up on this. Okay, you're not helping. Anyways, so yeah, tag match, and we get Matt Sydal gets the pinfall, but was in the match about a whole whopping 5 seconds of the match. What did they actually kind of knocked him for that? Said it was an easy paycheck tonight. That was kind of funny. That's one thing you don't hear people saying about Matt Sydal much. Usually that guy is working his ass off, but Chris Payne did all the work in this one. Pretty funny, but nonetheless, Matt Sydal gets the win, and the Heavenly Bodies go away crying. Next, let's see here. Sean Donovan versus Moose. That was a pretty good match. I missed part of this. I was off doing bathroom trip. Now, not that I'm not gonna call this the piss break match. I just got to do what you got to do. So I missed part of this, but for what I saw of it, it was fun. Moose comes off with the win with a spear. Sean Donovan. Yeah, pretty good talent there. Then we have something that we haven't seen too much in wrestling. We had a women's reffing an intergender match of sorts. We get Braxton Sutter with Allie versus, see if we get this right, Nikos and Nikki Rikos from Greece. They made a big deal out of that they were from Greece. They brought the flag out, and they made sure that they were holding it correctly. And what was, Nikki had normal ring gear on. What was Nikos wearing? It was like a long sleeve, no sleeve, and then long pants leg, and then no pants leg. Like missing like half of his gear. It was interesting. It was interesting. I've never seen anything like that before. He said, "Is that do people wrestle? Is that like a Greek thing? Is that how they all look? Like, missing like half of their outfit? I don't know." But they came off with a win with this one, so maybe that's like a good luck thing. Come to the ring with half your gear on and get the upset win. I don't know. We'll see. Did a lot of talking about Braxton Sutter and Allie's relationship, too. They weren't exactly sure what was going on here. So maybe that's something that's going to develop further on Impact Wrestling. What did we see last night? Oh, yeah. Ellie got that card. Secret Admirer next week. Chuck B's in the chat. What's up, Chuck B? He says, Kobe Cummington lives 45 minutes away from me in Oregon. That's on he. Oh, okay. He won state at his weight class in freestyle wrestling. Cummington beat Damian Maia recently and is one of the best Shit talkers and UFC today. All right. Thank you, Chuck B in the chat. Well, we now know a little more about Kobe Cummington. That is one thing that Josh Matthews did say, that he was quite outspoken on social media, but I don't follow him. So I haven't been a real big fan of this whole American top team thing in Impact Wrestling, but whatever. It's to each their own. Chuck B also says he has mad respect for pro wrestling too. He was on Conan's podcast a few weeks ago. Well, there you go. Shout out to Conan. 5150 was at Keep It at 100. It's his show. I know Chris Jericho's podcast bunch getting tossed around a little bit. Some leaving podcast one, some not sure. But yeah, go look that up if you're a fan of Kobe Cummington. Maybe I'll have to see what that's all about. Thanks for speaking up, Chuck B in the chat. Good to see you here. Where was I? Oh yeah, the Ricos. So yeah, we get the upset. What else is here? Oh, okay, next we get speaking of Josh Matthews did the play-by-play tonight with Scott D'Amore. Wow, those two had a lot of fun tonight, and Scott D'Amore on commentary and play-by-play, that was a breath of fresh air. That was really good. And that's not knocking, last night's show. They put Sanjay Dutt in there. I don't know if that was a quick switch because of the whole Jeremy Borash thing. But hey, whatever, Josh Matthews is good when he's, like I said, when he's not being an asshat, he's not talking out of his ass. But you put guys that, know what they're talking about, like, Sanjay Dutt or Scott D'Amore, and you got a good team. And that was evident last night and tonight. So I guess it really doesn't matter who you put with Josh. They're both working for the same cause. So there you go. So yeah, hats off to Scott and Josh for doing good on commentary tonight. I wanted to make that point. Eddie Edwards came out, who is not cleared because of an incident that happened at Impact tapings. So that kind of made its rounds in the news. He got injured due to the hands of some recklessness from who is it? Oh, Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan hit him with a baseball bat. Didn't hear, you hear things and it's hard to tell exactly. Obviously, we'll probably see it on Impact Wrestling within the next few weeks. Something that'll pop up. We'll see. We'll see how it comes off on TV. If it's as bad as it really sounded, I don't know. But obviously it's bad enough that Eddie Edwards, after a couple weeks, is not cleared yet. So I don't know if that's an eye thing, if that's a concussion thing. I don't know. He looked fine when he came out there. So I don't know. We'll see. Looked good. It wasn't all black and blue. His face looked fine. So not cleared. Was supposed to wrestle a gentleman by the name of Bobby Wayward. And so then Bobby Wayward made a big stink and got the ref out there. And he's like, hey, well, you're out here and you're forfeiting your chance to be in a match with me tonight. So I want the ref to count me as the winner. And then Eddie Edwards was like, whoa. Look, I'm not even wrestling tonight, but I did find you a substitute. And out comes a pleasant surprise. I don't know if he's everyone's cup of tea. I know there's been some controversial things about him in the past. But Teddy Hart comes out. And I was like, wow. And I've seen a few Teddy Hart matches, but I never paid that much attention to him, and that's not a knock on the guy. Just, God, there's 1,000,001 wrestlers out there, but he is one of the bigger, more controversial names out there. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, he did this and he did that, because I don't know his story. I heard he had some issues in the past, and I'm not going to bash him. But the match he put on tonight that I saw with this Bobby Wayward, who apparently is a 2-time Wrestle Pro champ. They put on a great match. And breaking news that was during the show, Scott D'Amore let the fans know that at WrestleCon on April 6th, Teddy Hart, now I don't know if this is like a signing or if he's just going to be part of it or what, but Teddy Hart is going to be at the Impact show for WrestleCon. That's pretty big. And if he keeps his his act clean or whatever, and takes care of whatever issues he's had with other people or personal life issues, I think he'd be a great part of Impact Wrestling. I know he's a bigger name. Why not? He's a Hart. He's straight. What do they say? Straight out of the dungeon? I don't know. So yeah, that was a great match. I'm excited to see that, and it's also going to be live on Twitch, and that's going to be a huge weekend. It really is. There's over 100 independent pro wrestling shows going on that weekend. Chuck B in the chat again. He says, I think the Heavenly Bodies was an old Jim Cornette stable. Yes, they did mention that was an old stable, and that Bruce Pritchard? No, Dr. Tom Pritchard passed on the name to them. Josh Matthews said something about, one of the two guys said something about that tonight. These guys are a new version of them, and had a local indie show, WCW, West Coast Wrestling Connection out west. Okay. Chuck calls them the flabby bodies. I seriously. Oh, Chuck says he looks better with his shirt off. Well, props to you, Chuck. Props to you. I know I'm hiding some pounds myself. From here on out up, I look pretty, whatever. I can Vogue. From here on down, not so. No, I wouldn't Vogue with that. No, a lot of stuff going on down. No, not like that. No, you're nasty. No, I just mean there's a lot of poundage going on. I hide it well. Right here. This is good. Right here. So, Agent's in the chat. What's up, Agent? 0012. Loved his finisher. The open heart surgery for Teddy Hart. Hey, yeah. I mean, it was great seeing him out there, and he put on a great match. An upset, though. I think a lot of people assume Teddy Hart going out there and getting the win. No, Bobby Wayward got the win. But wow, what a talent that Bobby Wayward is. So yeah, both put on a great match. Good to see you, Agent, here in the chat tonight. So yeah, look out for that. Teddy Hart going to be at WrestleCon's Impact Wrestling Show April 6th live on the Twitch TV. So Bobby Wayward steals one. He was holding the ropes during the pin. What a dirty move. Then we get three-way. Matt. This match was fun. Probably match of the night as far as like fun, really solid wrestling going back and forth. A little bit of comedy, but solid fun. Matt McIntosh versus Anthony Bowens. And former Impact champ Eli. Whoops, I screwed that. I didn't do that right. Eli Drake. Yeah. Anthony Bowens coming out with a win here. Pretty funny though. Eli Drake, somewhere in the middle of the match, doing a Ric Flair, talking some crap right after he got popped pretty hard from, I think, McIntosh, and then just keeled right over. Just wham. Hit the canvas. What a riot. That was hilarious. That Eli Drake, he really is something. I mean, he's a tremendous wrestler, and as far as charisma and character and in-ring promo work, just he's the complete package in my opinion. I did enjoy him. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Austin Aries. He is one of my favorite guys right now, and has been for a long time, no matter where he's at. Impact, Ring of Honor here, whatever. WWE here, whatever. But Eli Drake, I mean, I really warmed up to him as a performer over the course of this last year watching him as champ. He really shined. Because I've heard a lot about him and just hadn't watched him much. Another one that WWE lets slip away. Yeah. Crazy. Endorsed from Paul Bearer. Paul Bearer was his manager for a long time down in, OVW? Or was that just a part-time thing? But I know he was endorsed from him. Continuing on, we got a couple matches left here. Falaba versus Alberto El Patron. Wow. When's the last time we saw Alberto El Patron perform without a shirt on? That was almost shocking. I was like, whoa. Guy's sober, clean, and mean tonight, right? Rips his shirt off, ready to go at it one-on-one with Falaba. Falaba, wow. I mean, the more I watch this guy, I mean, he's really, for as big of, I'm not trying to knock him, but as big of a guy as Falaba is, excuse me, as much as he whips around the ring for a big guy, wow, that's really something. You see more and more of that nowadays. You're seeing less and less of, like the Big Show type / Andre the Giant type, and more like big guys like Keith Lee and Falaba and Shane Taylor. Well, Shane Taylor from Ring of Honor, to be honest, I mean, he's lost over 100 pounds within the last couple of years. He's lost a lot of weight, and it shows too in his in-ring work. Speaking of Ring of Honor, they had a show on at the same time tonight, and I was really having a lot of trouble trying to decide which one I was going to watch. But I do enjoy, a lot of these guys that are on Impact Wrestling, and that's not knocking Ring of Honor. They got the Bullet Club and everything else going on. So yeah, it was a real toss up. I was going to watch one and then, review it on here. So, I don't know if they're going to keep that show on Facebook. Like, you can go back and watch it. I know you can do that with this show. If you missed any part of tonight's show on Twitch, they said they are archiving this Brace for Impact show on the Twitch channel for Impact. So you can do that. That's pretty cool. It'll be in their video section, whatever. Some stuff from Chuck B in the chat. Teddy Hart is a nut. He's all right, but would like his advice in cat. I would like his advice in cat training. All right, Chuck. Did not expect that. Drake is The Rock and Austin's love child. Guy is awesome. Wow, that is. Oh. Eli Drake. Sorry. Lost my mind there for a second. That is funny though. Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of weird. But okay. Love child. All right. That must have been something that went on behind the scenes after their storied rivalry. After a couple beers and cut that one off right there. Then we get Alberto El Patron comes out with a win. But yeah, like I said, solid match for Falaba and Alberto El Patron. Really put Alberto El Patron to his limit. And the Silver Champ comes out for the last match. Dan Moff, 20-year-old vet in the biz, who is also part of the TV Twitch tournament for House of Hardcore. And I don't remember who he's facing next. He is facing, give me 2 seconds here, Bull James in the Twitch tournament for House of Hardcore. Look at that. All organized and everything here on Smash This Podcast. Dan Moff facing, no, that was like pure luck that I flipped to the right page. Versus Johnny Impact. Oh man, this was a blast. A little bit of Johnny Mundo coming out in this match. Some couple dirty tricks. Little bit surprised. Actually, not so surprised after seeing what Johnny Impact has done over the last few years in Lucha Underground. And then he comes, and AAA. Yeah, Mundo and AAA and Lucha Underground. And then he comes out as Johnny Impact on the Impact Zone, and he's squeaky clean. So to see him pull a few more dirty tricks out in a show like this actually should not surprise anyone. But nonetheless, great. He's like, if you watch my channel, he's one of my favorites. One of my favorites. And he got the win over Dan Moff, but then he showed a lot of respect for Dan Moff at the end and put him over. Johnny Impact saying he's wrestled the likes of Undertaker and John Cena, listed off a bunch of other names, big names from around the industry, notably the WWE and wherever else. And he put Danny Moff right up with that, and that says something. That was really cool of him. He doesn't have to do that. He could have gotten his win, and left. That was big of him. That says something about him. Good guy, Johnny Impact. Hell yeah. Is that heel turn going to happen? I don't know. Let out a little more Mundo, maybe. Yeah. That's what I'd like to see. So, one thing I did hear right before I went live, news courtesy of Ringside News, was at the Ring of Honor show, Emma showed up and wrestled tonight. I didn't catch who she wrestled. I think it was Mandy something, one of the girls in the Women of Honor. So I don't know if that was, I didn't hear any details. I just saw the headline. So I was like, oh, well, that's very interesting. Emma showing up in Ring of Honor. A lot of now, this is kind of interesting because she was supposed to be on this show that I'm talking about right now, the Brace for Impact. Apparently she wrestled someone. She wrestled Angelina Love, I think, in a match. So I'm guessing this is from like a day or two ago, and then he just kind of spliced everything together because this all went down in like 2 hours. They put everything together in a pretty compact show, which was fine. No, I'm not knocking that. But it's interesting that they cut out that show. So I don't know if they cut that out because Emma is signed with Ring of Honor and they didn't want to like ruffle feathers, and not show Emma because of contractual issues. That's purely speculation. Just a guess. Purely speculation. But I'm sure we're going to hear a little bit more about her signing and if she's, or her being part of this show, see if she's really signed or what. But nonetheless, now I want to go see that match because Emma's good. She was one of my favorites, and when WWE let her go, that was a bummer. So, and I was actually honestly hoping we'd see her in the Impact Zone. And that's not to say it's not going to happen, but like I said, we'll be following that very closely here on Smash This Podcast, keeping an eye out for contractual news and wherever she may show up for Emma in the pro wrestling industry, wherever, and see if she's actually a permanent part of Ring of Honor or if that was a one-off. So we'll see. So, you're not sitting there doing anything. While I'm talking here, you could have gotten me another slice of pizza. That would have been nice, seeing as you took my slice. Yeah. Next time. Oh, sure. Next time. Yeah. Unreal. So, for this idiot over here, I'm J-Bone, host of Smash this podcast. Thank you for joining me on this Brace for Impact review. What a fun show. Like I said, a lot of new faces, a lot of faces we did know from the Impact Zone, and just some great wrestling, you know, something different. I'm all about checking out new faces and seeing some good old-fashioned house show wrestling. Nothing wrong with that at all. And something new on here, you know. I'm all about talking about new stuff on here. So if you like the content, by all means, check out more on the channel of Smash This Podcast. And give the channel a sub, give the videos a like, and ring that bell for notifications if you like the content that much and you can't wait to see more of my stuff. Yeah. You get a couple slices of pizza, and you never know what's going to happen. But don't do that. No? Not cool? Okay, whatever. So, nonetheless, thanks a lot. We'll see you down the road real soon. And have a tremendous weekend. And, hey, it's not too late in the day to grab a slice and celebrate your National Pizza Day. I may go have another slice myself, seeing as someone ate mine. Yep. All right. Peace, folks. Have a great night. Thanks for joining me.